Hey everyone, give us just a few minutes. Ralph is going to be hopping on here in a minute remotely. I just sent him the link where I was running a little bit behind. Um, so I'll end up getting this shared out. So give me just a few minutes. All right, we're just waiting to see if Ralph has got the link. Lyle, it's not too late to hop on. I can send you a link if you want me to. Let me see.
Yeah, let's do it now.
See. Ralph is he's hopping on now. Maybe Lyle, I just sent Lyle the link. I don't know if he's going to or not. So, all right, we're still waiting on them. Be just a few minutes. If y'all can hang tight. This is Ralph's first time hopping on remotely. I was running behind today. I had a fishing trip and the weather was brutal out there, so I had to make a long run and ended up out of signal. And Brandy actually had to go get the trailer and come pick us up at a different ramp because we had almost 30-mile-an-hour winds. Didn't want to have to run back into and beat everyone up. Let's see. Well, I don't know if anyone can hear me, but if you guys have any, let's see, Chris Moffat. I'd rather be fishing. Beautiful up here today. It was we had a good day fishing, but it was brutal out there for sure. Uh, just waiting for Ralph to hop on. If y'all have any questions, go ahead and ask them because I really don't have anything to go over yet until Ralph hops on. Yeah, I do need my glasses. I don't know. There's probably some in the case right there. Grab my other ones, please. All right. Can we talk about recalling your dogs to the beep? Yes. Give us just a few minutes. I did get your text earlier, Mike. I was swamped. It came through when I was cleaning fish, and then I had to drive home. They're on the case over there. Um, all right. We got Ralph in black and white. Oh, there he is. Oh, we got Lyle too. Let me bring Lyle on.
Oh, I'm out of here for Lyle's on.
Oh, I'm scrambling, man. I was ill prepared just hanging out watching TV. So now I'm like, oh, let me put a shirt on at least, I guess.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Ralph might would have enjoyed it more if you didn't.
Hey, I'm just glad to see Ralph's alive because the way Kenny's been talking about you, like you were on your deathbed having your legs amputated or something.
Yeah, some days it felt like it.
Yeah. Fragile old man.
Yeah. Be happy if you get to this age.
Hey, Alex, how you doing? Alex Hood said, "Hey, fellas." Oh, there we go. There we go. That's a better picture, Lyle.
I'm working it.
Bobby Toon said, "Scraping the bottom of the barrel with Lyle on here."
Hey.
So
It's a rough life.
Yeah. Chris said, "Got one hula that can be phenomenal figuring out tracks, but now just only wants to hunt instead of track. Ideas on how to get her back to it." Yeah, we'll help you out there. So real quick, Ralph, how have you been?
Doing all right, getting better, recovery and leg getting stronger.
You starting to be able to walk a little better?
On flat surfaces, yeah, the 4-wheel drive parts are not working yet. So, and once we get into it, I want to kind of say something about the certificates and ribbons and stuff. So once we get into it,
Yeah.
or if you want me to do it now, we can go ahead.
Yeah,
or wait.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Rather kind of wait with some people get on here.
Yeah, it's we had about double on earlier, but that was before we had everyone get on. They'll probably hop back on a little bit and let it get going.
Yeah.
Lyle, what you been up to?
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to say I was up to a bunch of stuff, but I really haven't been anything. Kids were on spring break last week, so I was just kind of relaxing. I haven't done any of the dog stuff that I said I was going to do while they were on spring break. You know, the norm, procrastinating.
Yeah, you're like my wife, always procrastinating.
Yeah, I feel like I know better than that.
Oh no, she does. She's over there. She said, "I do.
I
I admit it."
know better than to agree with him.
I'm definitely every time he says something, I'm like,
oh, yeah.
Whoo.
Oh no.
Lyle the slacker. Alex Hood said Lyle the slacker.
It's true.
He also said, "Man, your face is fat, Lyle."
Maybe a little bit. It's just this glorious beard I got growing here.
So Ralph, what were you wanting to go over about certificates?
Just more anything, just to let everybody know, we've got pretty much all the certificates out and the ribbons, but I've also made some mistakes on a few. So anybody that has any problems, or just give me a call and we'll correct it and get everything sent back out. Some of the like the sheets that we had, some of those, a little bit to where we couldn't read them. So we made a guesstimation on some of it and we were wrong. So just let us know if there's any problems and we'll get the right stuff out to you.
I got to get with her. I guess somewhere Coda started and Travis Wilson fell through. So I got to get Coda. I'll take care of that for you and Travis.
No, well, hold on. Travis should have his.
Okay,
I did that.
So it's just Coda's then.
I think we probably ought to retest Coda just to make sure.
Yeah.
He probably don't care. He
probably ran 2 of them today already.
Yeah. So we're about 3 weeks out from the Alabama event, right? About 3 weeks.
Yep. And everybody needs to get the word out so we can gather more tests.
Yeah, I think we have 17 tests signed up right now. I know of a few more. I was told I'm not allowed to bring dogs, so.
I mean, I think you could probably bring a dog, but a trailer of dogs is probably a little over the top.
We'll see.
Yeah,
so just don't bring the dog trailer.
Yeah, put them all in the back seat. Got it.
Or in the back of the toy hauler. Plenty of room there. What's that?
I said I would bring some, but like I said, my 4-wheel drive parts ain't working, so I can't get out too deep.
Alex Arlo might be ready. He's actually doing pretty good. But Lyle, are you going to do your presentation?
Yeah, I think the plan is to do the same kind of walkthrough we did. I'll probably add a couple more little hit sites to it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying to come up with something. I'm hoping the weather cooperates for us and we can have a little bit of an actual blood trail. That's what I'd really like. I'd like to have the normal scenarios that we had last time, but I'd also like to hope I can put like a 100-yard blood trail and just show different scenarios so that we can kind of look at, what the different types of blood that you see on the trail tells you what the deer was doing or how you can tell where it was hit based off where the blood is on the trail. But if it's rainy, then that isn't going to work. It's kind of what zapped us on the last one. We still got the hit sites, but we didn't get to do too much of the actual blood analysis and splatter.
Yeah. So far the weather's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
So hopefully it holds out. It's been all over the place, especially for me on the fishing world. It's been I haven't been able to catch a break.
Well, we keep having the problem where it says it's going to be nice and then it rains, and then the day that it says it's going to rain, it's nice out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we got going. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna have yours, which is going to be the hit site wound bed analysis, and we're going to add in some strategy with that as far as wait times and tactics and stuff. So that's going to be a good one. Would be interested in Lyle's experience of hunter interview questions when deciding to commit to heading to a track, of passing on it. Lyle, you pass on tracks?
Not really. I was gonna say
I don't know how to pass.
I was like, no, but I don't pass. I really don't hardly pass on anything unless I'm just slammed, and even then I'll pass it on. But I see yours. I don't know who said that, but
yeah,
that
was Bobby Toon.
Yeah, Bobby Toon. Bobby knows how I do it. Where I'm going to look at it and give them a little expectation management. I'm probably not going to pass on it. And if I do, and it sounds real bad, I'm going to send it to Bobby.
There you go.
But, I tell based off of what I'm hearing, it was kind of break it down to what I think. And then I give them the rundown like, hey, this is what I think happened. Here's what I think our probabilities are. And then I'll be like, I'm willing to, I tell them all the time, I'm willing to come if you want me to, but here's what I think is going to happen. And, sometimes if they're really on the fence and they'll be like, yeah, I think you're right. And I won't go track, but probably 80% of the time they're like, well, come on out anyways. I'm like, all right, man, I'm on the way. And those are usually going to boil down to and like minimal penetration archery shots is usually what those are going to be,
Right.
If anybody's going to back out, it's going to be on those two things usually.
Yeah. So what Bobby, Lyle is going to incorporate all of that in his presentation.
Yep.
Which is going to be a hands-on workshop. It's not going to be standing up in front of he's not going to be standing up in front of everyone just talking. We're going to do more hands-on workshops. We are going to have a seminar portion, but it's going to be probably hour and a half maybe. I'm going to pull up what we had for the agenda. It says Lyle gets more upset losing a deer more than the hunter. However, his dogs are phenomenal. That was Don R. Clark.
It's true. I hate it when they get away. Oh, there you go. I can see it when you put it up that way.
Yeah. I'll start putting it up that way.
Me and Don went on like so Don went on a track with me that like is the track that I wish I could have had recorded, right? That like everything went good. The dogs did freaking amazing. I did some crazy fire my pistol from the hip, quick draw shot and dumped the deer right in like 20 feet in front of us in the middle of food plot. Like it's the kind of stuff that tracker dreams are made out of. And now Don has a dog for me. So, hey, it worked out just perfect.
There you go. So I'm pulling up the flyer now. So obviously we have testing. So the seminar portion to go over right now, what we have listed is scent profile details, the science behind it, how the nose knows, tracking strategies, which is also going to be covered more in depth with you, Lyle, in your workshop. Which workshops that Friday night, because we get a lot of requests, especially from new trackers on how to market your team, how to get your name out there. So we're going to have a workshop on that probably Friday night. Then we're going to do the first ever handler certification course as a workshop. That's going to be really interesting. Going to cover a lot of stuff, which is honestly, it's going to cover what Bobby's talking about. We're going to do that Saturday sometime, but basically it'll just be a recap of all the workshops, in a sit down format with a test, so we can get some handler certifications out there. Then analyzing the signs, Lyle, which is what yours is. We're going to have one reading the dog. That's going to be a really, really good one. Advanced mock trail tactics, and basic obedience that Lyle's doing.
That you want me to do a beat? Have you seen my dogs? I'm happy. I could talk beep recall all day, but you want to do any obedience other than that?
Honestly, I'm the same way. I like my tracking dogs a little wild.
Yeah, I tell everybody that. My wife always calls me out and says it's just because I'm lazy, not because I actually like them that way.
I just feel like this. I like a tracking dog to have. That's the word I'm looking for. I like them to be more independent and less reliant on me. I guess that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So
who's
that little
doing
bit of
the
wildness.
Y'all say that just because you can't train your dogs right.
Yeah, see, I knew. I was like waiting for Ralph to say something.
Hey, I got 2 bird dogs here that are on point. I mean, they will heel when I tell them to heel. They'll stay till I let them go. I just like I want my tracking dogs to get out ahead of me and stay out ahead of me.
I'm surprised mine aren't barking at me right now. Actually, Zeta's in the window. My wife actually let her in the house, but she's in the window staring at me, wondering why she's inside and I'm outside.
It made me mad watching Jeffrey Steele do his dogs, because he had a couple of things that I don't have my dogs doing.
Chris Gilly said, fellas, what's up? So did y'all see Chris passed his test?
Yes.
In Iowa.
Still waiting on them to narrow down that Iowa seminar.
Yeah, we've got the dates narrowed down.
Well, we know dates. We don't know. It didn't say where. Did it just say Central Iowa or something?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Central Iowa is pretty big.
Yeah. So, Lyle, since you opened up the opportunity for this question right here.
Oh, talk recalling your dog. I really, if I don't do anything right, I feel like my beep recall on all my dogs is pretty good. But like we do it all the time. If my dog's bark collars themselves actually have a beep option. So even when we're just running around the yard and we're not even tracking and I'm letting them out, I'm beep recalling, coming to me, releasing them constantly, even while they're playing and distracted. But yeah, I guess how I start doing it is when they're little and they're still learning their names. Even when I'm calling for them, like my youngest dog, Cutter, when I'm calling for her and teaching her name, Cutter, come, beep, beep, come, beep, beep. And then as she's coming to me, beep, 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 beep. I'm hitting that beep the whole time and I don't stop until she gets there. And then at the same time, when it's real early, I'll put her on that long line and I'm reeling her in and beeping her collar, as I'm reeling her in. And I'll just keep doing that. I mean, the whole time I'm teaching her regular come or here or whatever, your command is, I'm also doing that collar at the same time, hitting that beep the whole time. And then eventually I'll stop calling her name and just do the beep and kind of wean off of verbal and go just a beep. But then on top of the beep recall, though, I'll also do my whistle. Like I'll have my whistle and I'll kind of work that into the middle of my beep recall while I'm working that. And they usually seem to catch on to that whistle just like they almost like they hear it like it's the beep. I don't have any problems with going from beep to whistle or whistle back to beep. But I like my whistle because I'm not always in the same spot where they saw me last when I'm in the woods. So I might hit my beep recall and then watch them. And then when they get close to me, if I'm not where they saw me last, I'll blow my whistle so they can kind of cut the distance. Otherwise, they'll walk all the way back to the damn truck.
That to me is a great point, what you just said, because I do some of the other stuff, either blowing the horn, hollering. I've had a whistle also, because like you say, you do the beep recall, they're backtracking.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't want them to backtrack. So you got to use an alternative method to get them back.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I also add in the horn to the truck.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know, for us that track off lead, obviously this is, but even if you don't track off lead, you got to have a way to recall your dog, because I mean, I've had dogs slip collars and I've had dogs slip harnesses, and you need a way to be able to recall them. But Lyle, I think a key thing that you said is a dog needs to know recall before you try to teach it to the tone return on tone. If it
Right.
doesn't understand to come to you, I use here. Some people says come. John says come here, whatever. He'll call them by the wrong name, and they're supposed to come to him. But the big thing is, the dog has to understand what you're wanting before you can
Right.
do it. And if you said you like to do it at an early age. If you're not doing it at an early age, teach them whether it's come here or whatever. Like you said, normally have a long 50 to 100-foot piece of rope, small rope, and I'll do the same thing, and I'll pull them to me. And once they got that down, then I transition into the tone. And honestly, I can normally collar condition a dog within a couple days.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. Once they figure out what you want them to do, it's pretty quick.
There's a lot of people that ask, they get anxious when their dogs are small and little, young, and they're ready to get them on the scent. Shoot, I don't even worry about the scent. That's the stuff I worry about when they're young, because they're ready to do stuff. That's as important as they'll get the scent. That right there is as important as any other attribute that they're going to be learning throughout all their training. That to me is crucial, because I cannot stand to work with a dog that doesn't do what we want it to.
Yeah, and the prime time is that 8 to 12 to 14 week period.
Oh yeah, yep.
Don't even worry. Me personally, don't even worry about the scent part. Get
No.
your basic obedience down at that early age.
Yep.
Get your solid recall down, get your sit down, all that. I mean, that is the prime time to get that stuff down.
And like,
I'm not even taking them to the woods if they can't. If I don't got a solid beep recall, we're not. They don't even go to the woods, So I don't care. The scent, like you said, the scent doesn't matter yet, because you're not even going to try to get on some scent if I can't recall you.
Right.
And sometimes the scent part, to me, any dog at a young age you can teach it that stuff. That scent stuff, some dogs it might be 8 months, some dogs it might be 10 months before you really start the scent based on how they're acting. Like Potter I held him back a little bit. He just had too much puppy in him. But boy, I was teaching him the other stuff.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it'll work out. But that stuff, that's crucial to me. Makes it fun and enjoyable. You get a dog you can't control, ooh, that's chaos. And we got too many hard roads and too much crap that can happen.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I've got an older dog that goes with me, one of my first catch dogs, and he a few times I hit that beep recall and he'd go the wrong way, and I don't know if he just couldn't figure out how to get back to me, but nothing is more frustrating than when you got to stop tracking and go find a dog, man. God, I hate it.
Yeah.
That got him grounded for several weeks until he got that figured out, but I hate that.
When I first, like with Camo, probably the first year, she would just sit. When I hit the tone, she would stop and she would just sit. I had to go get her. Man, the day that she started backtracking, man, that was a happy day.
Yeah, it's nothing worse.
It's better than going the wrong way, but that's I hate that.
Now we got Carrie Patterson. She doesn't tone. So she was telling Mikey, whatever works best for you and your dog. I don't tone anymore if they're coming to me. If they stop coming, try. See, in the training, and Carrie, maybe you do this, but in training, I'm going to tone them till they get to my feet. Now, once they're trained, you know, I hit the tone button as long as I see them turn and they're coming to me. I don't hold it down anymore. But during training, I'm gonna hold it till they're at my
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah.
But Carrie takes tone training to a whole nother level. She likes to use vibrate. She said that earlier. Teach them vibrate too. If y'all ever track with someone else, nobody's allowed to use tone if they track with me. Yeah, I don't use vibrate at all.
I've debated. I need to switch over to tone, or at least add it, because I've got a couple of dogs that are really sensitive to that. Like when I hit that tone, they just come unglued and come running right back to me. They act like I fried them before, which I'm pretty sure has never happened on purpose, at least. But and when your handheld will beep sometimes, when it gives you your warning or whatever, my handheld will beep and they'll perk up and come shooting back to me. And I'm like,
They get
those
used to
dogs,
that.
I debated on whether I was going to switch over and start doing some vibrate with them.
Well,
But I like
they get used to the sounds, but you could also change the sounds on your handheld. You know.
Yeah, I've never done that. But
Me either.
my red leopard female, if she hears that beep even on my handheld, she's coming right back.
You know, and another key thing is don't fry a dog.
Yeah,
you
goddamn.
you don't have to. You know, you should when you start, because you're going to have to. At some point, you're going to have to give them a little bit of tension on that shock, but it shouldn't be wide open. You should turn it up one level at a time until you see a reaction. And it could be just a twitch of their head, a twitch of an ear. You know, as long as they're getting some stimulation, you know, you may have to bump it up a little to get the reaction. But you know, most dogs, we collar condition a lot of dogs. Most of them, I would say the average setting is about 3.
Yep. That's what I start with.
Yeah, mine
You know.
mine are all pretty low, except for my little wire-haired dachshund, man. He doesn't start to even care about it until it's at like 8 or 9, which is crazy because he's freaking tiny. But
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just thick hairs on his neck. I don't know, but he just does not care about that collar toe.
Camo is that way. She's hard headed, but if she's on the track, that's actually a indicator for me. If I tone her and she turns, it's not a very good track. If
I do the
other times, you like if she's on a hot trail and going to a hard road, you better just skip right over it and just burn her, because she is not going to stop unless it's just so much pain she can't stand it. And half the time she just sits there and you can just imagine her grinning and just
like doing this, turn her head like, I can't keep going.
It quit. You just sit there and go, don't do it, don't crap. Hit her again.
Yeah.
She just ain't stopping. But you got to know your dogs. And then like Icky, the little brown one, you just think about hitting tone. She's going to be at your feet in just a second.
Yep.
And you just got to know your dogs for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. I do the same thing. If they're running and barking and they've been running for a while and I'm watching them on the handheld and I'm like, I hit Zeta with the tone or hit the dogs with the tone. And if they don't stop and come back off that like initial just first like tone, I'm like, let's let this play out for a minute longer. Because, maybe they are real hot on them.
Yep. I definitely use it as an indicator. That is a definite.
Oh yeah. So, back to the Alabama event, because we need to go over a few more things there. Billy Hodgson has all the fish for a fish fry for that Saturday and the sides. He's got, he told me he has 75 pounds of catfish fillets ready for the fish fry.
Caught him yesterday.
It hasn't been long, but he did catch them all himself. I believe I have a picture of it. I'll put out there. But yeah, I don't know if he's on here, but a friend of his that does some catering or someone he knows has donated the sides, so we're taking care of there also.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just saved the picture. Let me see if it switched over to my computer and I can share it.
Hey, who's teaching the read your dog section?
Yeah.
That's you.
Um,
Sounds like that's
no,
you.
no. I believe it's going to be. I can't remember.
Well, it was either when we were talking about it was either me or Carrie. And we haven't talked to Carrie about it. So
Sounds like it's
I
you
did.
then, Ralph.
I did talk to Carrie about it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I believe we it did sync. And then yeah, so I think it was you and Carrie is what we talked about. And who's doing the it's a good question. The mock trail. I believe we have Travis Bozeman and John Vaughn is doing that.
when you were going over the different workshops,
Yes.
and it doesn't matter to me, but you had mentioned previously about how to set up all your equipment, the truck.
Yeah, that's the one you were going over.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what, if it's not there, fine. But if it is, then that's another one that I got to deal with.
Stack them up.
It's okay.
I didn't have it there, but yes, we can do that.
Oh, I'm not trying to add anything.
You're not trying to add to your
Too late
schedule?
now.
Oh.
If it's there, then that's just another one we got to deal with.
Yeah. It's not on there, but we can definitely do it. I'm trying to find this why it didn't upload. There we go. Maybe because I didn't hit the upload button. No, it says failed to upload. Weird.
The reading your dog thing is always fun because it's always cool to see. Because almost all my dogs are real close to the same. I mean, they're mainly Catahoulas, so they're all kind of have that same body language. But it's cool to me to see some of the other dogs do it and how they're different than what mine look like.
Yeah. Well, even then, I mean, there's different ones and all the different. I mean, I guess you kind of say some breeds are the same, but
mine are pretty close. They have a little bit of difference, but not anything crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of in like judging, even in the heat of the moment, when a tracker is nervous, he's missing a lot, and we just want them to be in an environment to where they can see exactly what when that transition happens. Because I think it'll be fun to watch different dogs. Like even with mine, they are drastically different, and it'll let people know what to look for. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I missed a comment up here. It was from Tommy.
About the motel?
Yes. Brandy, do you remember the motel? Demopolis. She's gonna look real quick, and we'll have that. There was one that was dog friendly and one that wasn't. I can't remember. The one we stayed in last year was not dog friendly, but I can't remember which one it is. I think it's a Comfort Inn that was dog friendly.
I can't remember.
Where did we stay, Brandy? Oh, we stayed at the Comfort. She's looking it up though, Tommy. The closest ones are in Demopolis. And then the week after that, we have the Mississippi event. And I'm going to be there Friday night if y'all can see that.
So
I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm going to be there Friday night. Billy Hodgson's on
10th or 11th. That should be the next weekend, I think.
Yeah. Chris Marvin said they're all dog friendly if you don't get caught.
Depends on how quiet your dog is.
Yeah. They're service dogs.
And how small they are.
Yeah, I will say that. I mean, every time we go somewhere to test dogs and we have Teckles, it's never a question. The 10th.
Yeah, I thought so.
So they're a place to set up tents. Yes, she said we can set up tents. She doesn't know if the camper spots will be ready in time. It doesn't look like they will, but she said we can still bring campers. They just won't have hookups. Billy Hodgson's on. Billy, we were talking about, you said you had the fish for the fish fry. He said he likes the split screen. Oh, here we go. Coda says, bringing my dad's dog out, just booked him for a started test. Y'all get your test booked up. Yeah, so I think that makes 18. And I know I spoke to someone yesterday. They're trying to decide just how many tests they want to run, but they're running at least 2.
I need to quit being lazy. I'm probably in for 2, but I haven't done it yet.
Procrastinator.
Jeez.
Yeah, we already covered that.
We'll cover it again.
I haven't decided which dogs I'm going to bring yet. So I know I got to bring Zeta so that I could teach all you guys how to do the exhibition tracks.
Yeah. So speaking of that,
So she's taking a slot that I didn't plan on bringing her, but I got to go in and dominate. So.
Oh, Lyle, you're being called out here.
Oh,
No, that's true. I haven't. I actually did some the other day, but I didn't do them like too standard because everybody was talking about the apps and the 90-degree turn. So I went out there and laid some tracks with like 6 90-degree turns in it to see like how much I could get away with, and then I haven't done another one since then.
So have you been able to spell your name correctly yet?
Yeah, and I've passed the test. All right, so with those 2 things combined, eventually I'm going to get there. But if I'm not, I'll just can do my my lines and shadowing on Friday up there in Alabama, right? Or do I need to have those done before that?
No, there you go. You can do that.
That's why I wasn't super worried about a carry.
Hey, we got another procrastinator. I'm going to call him out right here. Perry Lawrence. I want to do 2, but got to sign up.
it takes about 2 minutes.
I know. I know.
So, Randy Duvall's reply to Chuck said that this 11th is a seminar. He was talking about the crappie dinner.
Fish fry.
Yep. So, Carrie, Lyle, she's on it tonight now.
Yeah.
No, I got nothing. I didn't send them in because I wanted to see because everybody was complaining about it. So I was like, man, I didn't want to send in some craziness for this exact reason across the bottom.
Right?
Right?
You didn't want to send in crash, so you just did nothing?
I did nothing, yes. I figured the harassment for not doing anything was better than the harassment for doing it wrong. That's what I went with.
You can't win for losing.
I can't.
Y'all thought I was bad. Y'all see, it's really Carrie.
It is. She tears everybody up in that freaking chat room.
Let's see. So Bobby Toon says, I've been using the Dog Tracks app and like it for the mock tracks. I love the Dog Tracks app.
Yeah, I think I've been pretty happy with it, laying my mock tracks with it. I was going to ask you guys something about it. I couldn't figure out how to use the same track twice.
What do you like?
So, like, if I wanted to run another dog on that same track later, like, I couldn't figure out how to run that track a second time. So I lay the track, And then I let it sit or whatever. I go get the dog. Then you can run that dog on the track and ask you what dog you use. But if I want to run another dog on that same track, I couldn't figure out how to get it to let me do that.
I don't know, but I can email them. We never run multiple dogs on one
That's
line.
because you're not as lazy as I am. So, no, I was trying to. I just ran it because I was running puppy on it at like 3 hours old, and then the next day I ran another dog on it at like 24. But I couldn't figure out how to make the dog track app let me run the same track a second time. It's probably because they don't want you to be a lazy piece like I was. But
yeah, so
Look at Stacy's right there, Kenny.
Yeah, that's what I was going to. She said, I would like the testing signups to be cut off on May 1st. That way we can get everything planned. Okay, so I got plenty of time to pack the trailer.
Yep. And I can procrastinate for like 2.5 more weeks. Perfect.
Give me just a second. I'm responding to someone so that I have an answer for a question that I know is coming up.
Is Potter on that list, Ralph?
No, just because I can't get out in the woods yet.
It's a terrible excuse. We'll get you a track chair from that other place. They had one in the garage.
He let me use it.
All right, so Lyle, you're not the only one. Mike Maynard said I was trying to figure out how to run the same track twice also. Like
Mike,
I said,
quit being so lazy.
We just don't do that. I mean, I have my own feelings. I just feel like, dog's going to track another dog.
I don't disagree.
So Chris Gilly says, man trailing app is nice, has great features. I use that over Onyx. I don't know anything about the man trailing app. I'm not a fan of Onyx as far as using it for tracks. I guess the reason why is because you had the default is those dashed lines on Onyx, and especially with 90s and stuff. Ralph and I have seen this with people submitting lines from Onyx, and it doesn't show the attributes good, and you got to go in there and use a different feature. We use at our events, we use Hunt Stand, and the reason why is we can add all the judges to the map through their email, and we can have all the lines mapped out ahead of time. In fact, Travis Bozeman's already began mapping out the property for the Alabama event and looking at mapping out test lines. And all the test lines will be mapped out, and all the judge has to do is go there and literally follow it. So that's why we use that, but we still use dog tracks. So Chuck says it's a good idea to have some dogs on a track so they know how to run one behind untrained dogs. I agree, Chuck, and we do that. The difference is when you're running two dogs on the same mock trail as far as training them to track, that dog has already ran that whole line. What you're talking about the way to train for that is more like we do on our finish test, is to walk the dog, let it trail, and then lead it off of the trail and don't let it finish it all the way out, and then have the dog come in behind it and progress forward on the line.
I did that when I was getting ready for my other big test when I was running my mock tracks for my younger dogs at the first like 500-600 yards of the track, and then I would keep going from there for the rest of it for the other 1,000 yards or whatever for my other ones, and kind of weaved them all on top of each other.
Yeah.
Yep. So I don't remember this, but Lyle, I didn't say this.
You
No,
have been called out.
It was early on in the training, but I definitely. And if you're going to do it, flip flop back and forth. You don't want a Me Too dog. That's what you don't want to create is a Me Too dog.
I do it every once in a while, mainly when like if I'm trying to do multiple tracks right here at my house, or I'm out of time, or whatever. Busy work week with soccer games or something. I'll run one and put a younger dog on it, and then the next day I'll run an older dog on that same track, but much older.
Yeah,
But,
that's definitely. But back to back, you got to be careful.
yeah.
So, I just received confirmation. Duvall will be doing the basic obedience workshop.
Yeah. Cool.
So that's going to be good. A lot of these people have not met him, and I think it's going to be good. So
I've talked smack to him back and forth a bunch of times for years, and I don't think I've ever actually met him.
Also I need to reach out to Chris Duck and see if he's going to come with the Dan's gear and Garmin stuff. He said he would. I just need to reach out to him again.
I hope he is. I've had a couple of people ask. So
yeah, I'm sure he will. I need to remind him.
Is he the one that can do the swap outs and stuff right there, or that wasn't him?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember.
Probably.
I don't remember who it was. I don't even remember what event we were at, but they were doing like, you swap out broken stuff right there and then pay the whatever, just like when you send it in, but they were basically going to send it in for you and get a refurbished one. I can't remember who it was though, but I'm starting to get a stack of broken stuff at the house. I need to.
When we were there, when we were at Duvall's house, he did have some. It looked like there was some stuff, some swap out stuff. So whenever I reach out to him and see if he's coming, which I hope he is, like I said, he said he would. I'll ask him about that.
Yeah, I've got a couple of collars and a handheld I wouldn't mind ditching.
Let's see. Yeah, and I got to get Brandy. Brandy, go grab my Briar jacket, because I've had people ask me since we mentioned that lightweight Briar jacket we got from him. Man, that thing is awesome.
Mine's out getting logoed up now.
What? You didn't tell me.
I didn't want you to know.
Bobby Toon says paid the seminar but couldn't figure out how to book a test in the website at the event. It's on the same page. Let's see.
I'll be no help. I have not done it yet.
Does it have a tag on it with a number or model or whatever? Since mine isn't out getting logoed up.
I'm still waiting on my button-down shirt. You guys out here looking all classy. I'm wearing my
Style
Auburn
what?
shirt.
Style 133 is what she said. So, Bobby Toon, if you go to event/testing signups page, you can do it all right there. So, literally the same place where you booked the seminar, if you scroll down, you can book the test. Okay, it says testing was listed below. I'm glad this was brought up. Testing was listed below, but it was for scheduling at your address. Yes, but when you go on there and you do it, I'm doing it now, so I can book. I'm going to book one for.
So go ahead, book me in there and pay for it.
I'm going to go ahead and book a trailer load of dogs. All right, so once you put in your address, let me go ahead and do this. Test. I'm just going to make up some random numbers. All right. So once you go in there, it'll have you add your details, and it says additional. It'll come up as additional questions, and it says if scheduling a test, is this for a private test or an event? And then you could put which event it's for. Which I need to change. I don't know why it's worded like I must have been half asleep when I did it, probably. So that's where you'll put what event it is when you get to that next page. Stacy said negative, you are cut off. Oh man. All right. So DeMar just chimed in. What's the topic? What do you want the topic to be, DeMar? Right now we're talking about the Alabama event, and Bobby was asking about signing up for the test because it'll have you put your address, but then when you go to the next screen is when you'll put in what event it is for. Coda says I need American blood.
I know that, Coda. That's what I've been telling him this whole time. I thought for sure it was going to be offered at the seminar with all the other shirts. Nope.
Well,
He just wants
you got to start by being able to spell your name.
Look, click on my little screen here. It says my name spelled just fine.
All right. Now,
which I'm surprised if you had the ability that you didn't change it.
No, you did that.
No, I know, but I'm surprised. If you could, I'm surprised it didn't get changed.
Yeah, I wonder if I can. No, I can't. I might be able to. No, but I can do that.
Coda, have him Coda contact Carrie at my office, and she'll send you the right logos. Isn't that what he was asking a second ago? Was the logos?
No, he wants a shirt like this.
A PFG shirt.
Yeah, good luck.
I know. Yeah, the only way to do it is to get those logos, take it to your own person, and get it knocked out yourself.
All right, Bobby said he figured it out and booked it. He's one step ahead of you, Lyle, or maybe 15.
He's always a step ahead of me. That's why I send him all my bad tracks.
He's got the dog to handle them.
I know.
All right, here's a question. What about dog aggression like other dogs on a track?
Beat them till they stop.
I can't stand it.
No.
It's a problem. I am ill prepared to answer this because I could not figure it out. And right now, my dogo is at Michaela Miller's house, getting trained off of that exact same problem because I could not figure it out.
It is not easy to do.
You better start quick, though.
Yeah. Honestly, most of the time, it takes a behavioralist to correct that, or a ton of dedication and time, which most people does not have. And Michaela is a great person for that. Honestly, I don't have the time to do it. Yeah, it's very frustrating.
What she has
Carrie said all resource guarding, but it's not always resource guarding.
I got both problems.
Yeah,
it's way worse on a deer, especially when because it's my catch dog. So he just ran that deer down with him, caught it, and now he says no, this is my deer. And when you're potentially have a dogo standing next to a wire-haired dachshund, that could get out of hand real quick. So
yeah, I mean, them wire-haired dachshund take down
they're
dogo pretty quick.
They're hanging right off that freaking dogo lip.
Oh man, but yes, resource guarding is normally the issue on a track, but there are times where it's just straight up dog aggression. But honestly, most of the time, especially with my personal dogs, the resource guarding, they figure it out. They, you know, one of them's going to whoop up on the other one. The other one's going to learn not to come try to take that deer away. That's probably what you've experienced too, Lyle, for the most part.
Yeah, it's usually when the other dogs are at the end. So while we're tracking or while we're running, no issue. But once that deer is down or once that deer is dead, then they've decided that this is mine, and then we switch over to that kind of resource guarding.
Right.
And it hasn't been easy. Michaela's had her hands full trying to fix it, and
that's what I'm saying. It takes a lot of time and dedication. It's not an easy thing to correct once it's started.
I couldn't do it. So, and you know what she's kind of got. I'm going to butcher this because I'm just going off of what she's kind of led me to what I need to be doing when he comes back. Is I don't even know, I guess, how to describe it. Basically, she's changing his mind where slowly getting him okay with another dog being there and realizing that, like, hey, there's plenty to go around and I don't have to be a jerk, but how do you do that on a deer that you can only, whatever, 20 times a year if you track your ass off, get into that situation. So
keep deer parts.
It's hard. I mean, that's what Michaela's got a deer carcass out in the yard, and she's letting the multiple dogs chew on it while he comes up. And then if he gets aggressive, she backs him off, and he realizes that he doesn't get to have fun if he's a jerk. But if he's good, he gets to go up there and he can have some. But if he starts to posture, he gets taken away again, and it's not easy. I'm glad it's her, not me.
And that's the thing. One thing that I tell a lot of people, and it does work, but you got to be. One thing is you take possession of that deer, but working off lead, sometimes you're a couple hundred yards away or more.
Yep.
And at that point, honestly, I let the dogs work it out. And if it becomes the point where they can't, I decide which dog is more valuable to me, and I get rid of the other one. That's just me. I mean, not saying that's the right way to do, but I will call a dog quick if I have to. Just because, like I said, I don't have the time to deal with that crap.
Yeah, I mean, with that, like, if you can't trust them, whether it's that or it's the recall or any of those other issues, if you can't trust them in the woods, I just don't have time for you.
Right.
I got too many other dogs who can do it.
Here's a good one that we do need to discuss. Mike said, my issue is handler protection. And we have ran into this in testing situations. And that's something that really needs to be talked about. The first thing you need to do, Mike, is let everyone there know that your dog has that issue. I say issue because you use the word issue, but maybe it's not an issue for someone. Maybe they like their dogs to be that way. And as long as you're upfront, you tell people the expectations and you have control of your dog, maybe it's not an issue. Where it becomes an issue is when people don't have control of their dogs at all times or paying attention, or they get a phone call and next thing I know, their dog's jumping on someone. That's something you got to keep in mind. And if your dog gets aggressive at a deer and towards other people, and I'm not saying that's the case with Mike's, tie him off to a tree away from the deer.
Yeah. That's where all the certain leads are good for that. Tying the dog to a tree. We have the type that they're made for that.
Right. So Coda said this will hang on. Here we go. Mike said, of course, I have it under control and it actually gives me more space. Perfect.
Yeah,
but
I got
I
nothing
wanted
on
to
that
bring
one.
that up because we have seen scenarios where, some people forget to let others know, hey, this is what could happen. You know what? And maybe all my dogs will have that issue, even if they don't, just so I have more space. Yeah, see, this is Carrie worded it perfectly. She said, mine usually work it out on their own as long as they aren't hurting each other. I let them bicker, and that's the way I handle it.
Yeah,
You know,
that's always been my kind of policy until I threw a giant white dog in the mix, and
Yeah,
that was not
my
that's
problem
not
is
something.
just what it was with Lindsay's dogo. We got the one and he grabbed it. Camo was on the front leg. She had a hold of the front leg, and the deer was just lifting Camo off the ground. And we finally got it down. And Camo just the bigger the dog, the more aggressive she gets, and she's going to get hurt one day. That's
Otto's the same way. I have the
she's
same
gonna
issue with
get
Otto.
hurt. And that's what worries me because she ain't big enough to defend herself, but you can't tell her that, and that worries me. So when I'm with a new dog, I have to be extremely careful and hope I get there in time if it's something like that, because the newer dogs is what seems to be, or that's when they get aggressive to me with my dogs. If we hunt with enough guy or track with enough, of the same dog, they don't seem to have a problem. But boy, you throw a new one in there, whoo, man, they go crazy.
So I didn't want to skip over this while it's still on my mind. I don't know if y'all are aware of this right here. I don't think I remembered to share it with everyone.
Ooh, is that going to be a raffle item? I want one of those.
Yeah, that's
that's
so.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. So Brandy's actually been texting back and forth with him, and I believe Brandy sent him a logo, didn't you, Brandy? Tomorrow. Yeah. So this is. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see this. I'll probably end up having to get one.
Yeah, I'm like, damn it. So I'm probably gonna have to.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. So Brad Shoemaker says, I've replaced dogs that were, I know he meant were killed by bigger dogs. Yeah, so that's something to think
It's always
about.
a worry. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So Mike, here we go. Only issue I have with the deer is when the hunter is excited and rushing in to get their deer. My dog will get between them and me and forget about the deer. But I'm up front with them on this. I pretty much tell the hunter how the track will go.
Yep.
Yeah, and that is a concern because here's the deal: whether you tell them or not, I mean, where's the liability going to fall?
I think that happens probably more often than anything is when the hunter's all excited and jumping around, and the dog's like, because the dog's all pumped up too at the same time.
Oh, absolutely.
It can definitely lead to, I don't know, if not a full on bite, but at least some lunging or some posturing as they look at each. You know what I mean? I've definitely seen that before where I was like, ooh, I'll throw that leash on a dog and put it in a tree pretty quick. But you get all that action. The dogs are all pumped up, and then the hunter's in there jumping and high fiving, and
yeah, the more
get
excited
crazy.
he gets, the worse they get.
Yeah.
Which leads back to another reason why back in July I shared a waiver, and it spells everything out, and I mean, a waiver is as good as your attorney, but at least you have something saying, hey, this is what I expect. This is how things go. And it's a hold harmless agreement. Not a bad idea to do. And if you don't have it, I can send it to you. Yeah. So, and Chris Gilly says, I always tell the client, if my dog gets the deer first, I'll remove them. And that's the thing, though. I mean, sometimes people just get excited and they try to jump in between. Tom Hill says I make the hunter stay behind me, and I think we all do. But too many times that hunter will blow right by you before you even get a chance to realize it.
Yeah.
What's going on? It's.
I think
Ernie,
it's a pretty common risk. You just got to be cognizant that it's a thing that can happen.
Yeah. And again, that's why I'm going to be more strict about the waiver.
Yeah.
Not just that, but it also covers, the property line issue. And, we've shown it to game wardens and said, hey, really, I mean, will it help you? It may help in the court of law if you get in trouble for trespassing. You say, hey, I did ask them, and they put it in writing right here. I had them sign. Do we have permission? They signed their name, said yes. Could you still get in trouble? Sure, but at least it shows that you made an effort. And I think it'd be the same thing with if something were to happen where someone gets bit. And Chris Gilly said right here, I have a hold harmless agreement that protects me and my dog, and I think that is crucial, especially in today's times.
Lyle went off.
Yeah.
It got dark. I had to transfer in the house. Hold on.
All right. So Vicky Church says hi, y'all. Hey, Vicky.
Y'all.
Hey,
boy, she's starting to talk like Southern people.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And Vicky has been working hard to help with the Pennsylvania event. She's been contacting some companies, and we appreciate what you've done, Vicky.
Yep. Hey, Lyle, while he's reading, can you see the comments to the right? To the right of the pictures that with us.
If I turn it vertical, I can see comments, I guess.
It's probably because you started out vertical.
I got it right now.
Okay.
I didn't realize I could do that, or I would have switched a long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, you can do it. You can still see them. Well, no, because you're not on computer.
There's also
I'm on my phone, so
that icon to the bottom right of the pictures, you can hit it and it'll give you 2 or 3 different selections of how your screen looks. And one of the selections is to see those comments. You can hit that little expand icon and it'll take it away too. So you just got to keep hitting it till it shows it the correct way.
So Bobby Toon says it's been incredible to see Archer's progress since getting Archer back from Kenny. To include the started off-lead test, he has completed 7 tracks in a row. Next one this weekend will be only hoof aged overnight between turkey hunts. Oh, he'll breeze through that. Not an issue. So Tommy has one for you, Lyle.
What, that he doesn't want to look at me? That's a lie.
Yeah, no one wants to look at Lyle Davis anyway. So again, like Mike says, Lyle is right. That's why I always control the track. I tell the hunter where and what I want him to do. I think we all do, but does it always work out?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd never win a season without someone not, or I don't even think I've win a weekend without someone not following the orders.
Yeah. Someone's going to break the rules.
Yeah.
All it takes is a live deer to jump up and everybody goes haywire.
Yep.
Vicky's a world traveler or a nationwide traveler here. Just got back from Louisiana.
She's always popping up in weird places. I see her on there on Facebook. I'll look at her and she'll be like, "Oh, I'm over here," and then 2 days later, she's 1,000 miles in a different direction. That's something different, She's at a
Physically
Bay
or
event.
mentally?
Both. She's at some Bay event in freaking Louisiana, and then a week later, she's at a confirmation show. You know, I don't know. Or a lure coursing event in Tennessee. You know, she's all over the place.
Oh yeah. Like I said, and I appreciate what she's done. She's definitely
Yeah.
an attribute to the tracking community.
She ain't letting no grass grow under her feet.
No, that's the truth.
No, let's see if I missed any comments up here. Yes, I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited for Alabama.
Yep.
That property, it's a beautiful property too.
I'm excited. I'm excited for a little change in the lineup, how we do things. I definitely like it when we have a little more hands-on and
Oh, absolutely.
walk around and get to do something.
Yep.
Versus the sit and learn phase, So
Right.
I'm excited for that.
Teach them, leave it, and that anyone can give that command. I always have the hunter tell mine to leave it. I have the handheld to make sure they adhere to the command. And that's something we do here with our training. My son, he went to play pickleball. I was trying to get him on tonight, but John works dogs. I work dogs. My son will work dogs. Brandy gets out there. She used to train more. She's gotten lazy like Lyle. But she will help clean kennels and feed, and she will help with some basic obedience stuff, but she doesn't track like she used to. But yeah, my son will get out there. Like I said, it's multiple people handling the dogs, so they're used to multiple people giving commands, and that's a good one right there.
Yeah, well, that'll be a good one for him to show us how to do it at that event.
Don't show too much. Nah. Yeah. Speaking of traveling, next Tuesday we'll probably have to do this remote again because I will be in Louisiana. But I will have my stuff with me. Oh, I missed this one, Lyle. About the Iowa event. Put your nose there and smell Jeff Still.
Oh, Central Iowa is too far from Dubuque County. All right, so let's push it a little more to the right.
Yeah. What do you have up there?
That's that's originally where I'm from. My in-laws and stuff are all up there. So
yeah, that's where I hunt up there when I get to go up there.
What county do you usually hunt when you're up there?
Dubuque.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my in-laws live in Epworth.
I say that. I might
just outside.
What section is that?
I don't know. I'd be lying if I guessed.
Yeah. I can't ever remember. It's either Dubuque or Decatur.
You probably hunt Decatur. It's not that far though.
Yeah, it's in the Northeast. It's up there. Yeah. Section 8.
So, got a question. Will spectators be able to watch the tracking? So that will be up to the individual that is testing. However, spectators will be able to watch the field trials.
Oh, yeah.
Lyle, are you doing the field trials?
Yeah, that's the whole reason I got to bring Zeta just for that.
You going to do the on-lead trials too?
I don't know how you have it set up yet, but I probably will do.
What does that got to do with anything?
I will probably do.
Let me wait to see if it's good enough for me to run.
I already said I'll run everything until I run out of money. So we'll see.
So you might win money.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
Hey,
It doesn't matter to
out.
me.
Don't let one of these little dogs outrun your big dog.
I might be worried about it, but since Ralph can't keep up with his dog, I feel pretty
Hey,
safe.
I don't have to on an off lead.
Be hobbling along behind.
Hey, so just so y'all know, I am going to have the camera gear out there for the on lead speed trials.
Oh yeah.
Because I guarantee you there
Somebody's
will be
getting-
some bloopers. Someone is going to eat some dirt trying to run it. I imagine it's going to be Lyle.
I wouldn't pop up and be like, "Oh, I'm so surprised it was me." I can tell you that.
So, Coda, I saw your comment. I'm going to come back to that one. So let's see. Oh, wrong one. Wrong one. Hang on. Let me go take this off. Here we go. What field trials?
Oh, here we go.
So Vicky, you are going to have to come to Alabama. So since you're such a nationwide traveler, you're going to have to experience the first that I know of tracking dog field trials.
And I feel like with Captain's lure coursing and tracking and all his other crazy things she has him in, he probably would hold his own pretty good at that.
Yeah, I mean, so I've been working on some stuff, and I know Ralph has some ideas, and we are going to finalize it. But obviously, the speed trials that's pretty self-explanatory. But I think the way we're going to have to do it, depending on how big of a field we have, as far as how many participants, I think we're definitely going to have to narrow down that field, and then the finals, maybe the top four, we run in front of the crowd. Is kind of what I was leaning towards. In the step ladder format, top 4, 5, 6, whatever. And then the more technical stuff is going to be, it's going to have to be. We got to work on that one, but it's going to have to be based more on age and difficulties on the track. So, but anyways, don't be scared. Just do it.
I'm in. I only get scared when we start crossing that 36-hour mark on age.
Well, if we have dogs that can do it, you might not win.
Thanks for letting us know, Lyle.
So like, if that's 36 hours, that's where I say, up, and I'll spectator on this one. Let one of the freaking cold-nosed dogs run that one.
You don't have a cold-nosed Catahoula?
I don't think so. Not 36 hours is about taps us out unless there's guts dangling in trees. But
all right, so we'll go back to. So yeah, she says Alabama is her favorite location at the prison camp. Well, that's where it's going to be at, Vicky. Oh, and Lyle's being called out again. Man.
all right, I'm gonna have Vicky Church is now my sponsor. Wear a shirt that has her picture on it, and she just has to pay all my entry fees, and we're gonna run everything.
Well,
I'll wear a Captain America shirt, so I can be sponsored by her dog.
there you go. So let's go back to Coda. So how many of y'all do this?
I do. That's their second favorite thing to do.
Mine like to chase and bark at it.
Yeah, so this came up because my son has been working with Arlo, putting a dogo on the back of the four-wheeler, and he did not like it at first. He wanted to jump off, and then he got used to it. But I wish I would have had a video camera going whenever we put him on the boat for the first time, because he literally walked off the side of the boat like he thought he could just step on the water. He didn't know that water is water. He thought it was just regular ground, and he literally just walked off the side of the boat. That was hilarious. But he can swim very well. It was hilarious.
I don't think I've had any problem with my dogs in boats.
Nah,
They usually get in all right.
Yeah, they go. That's an easy one.
Side by side is all right. Four-wheeler is hard.
Yeah.
I know if I put them in the back of a side by side, they're going to jump out. So if they can't ride with me in the side by side, then I'll jump in the back and just sit with them. And then they won't bail on me unless the deer's back there. Then they're not going anywhere. But.
Yep.
Hey, Lyle.
Vicky's going to send me some socks.
I just wonder if they're going to be clean or dirty.
I was just going to say only if they're pre-worn.
Only if they're pre-worn? Oh, man. So I know I missed a comment.
I think you're all right.
Let's see, DeMar. Who trains people to train dogs? Well, the seminars do. I don't know of anyone that trains trainers in this world, in this realm. I have, I've helped a lot of trainers, and I know the problem is, I mean, you can't.
There's no helping Kenny.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, attend the seminar. I mean, seriously, I mean, that's where you learn the most on how to train the dogs. There you go, Lyle. Only fresh.
Oh.
Looks like you need to get some Alabama socks.
Well, my daughter goes here, so otherwise I'd be wearing an Iowa shirt, even though we got our feelings hurt on Sunday, but that's all right.
Yeah, so definitely excited about that event. Did I miss anything as far as the event goes? I mean, so if you're planning to go, please go online and register, because that helps us with preparations like the food. I mean, right now I think Billy's got plenty of food. 75 pounds of fish is a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like this one, Joe Sellers. Yeah, I imagine he's responding tomorrow by watching the ABTA live broadcast.
Probably not learning too much from me tonight.
We learned you like dirty socks.
I was like, how to have thick skin. That's what you learned. Some thick skin around here.
Yeah, we got some people signing up.
Yep.
Got some more tests. We got some tests signed up. We got some more people signed up for the seminar. Yeah, we appreciate you guys doing that. Stacy, I know Stacy's on here, but one thing, Ralph, I think we need to touch on is the scheduling of the tests, as far as times and how that's going to be different at this event. On how everyone's going to come together, kind of how you did in Louisiana.
Right.
Where it's, although you may have signed up for, let's say, 9 o'clock, your test may not be 9 o'clock.
Right.
Go ahead.
I wouldn't even worry about people relying on their times that they've asked for. It's going to be for the sake of the event, what works the best. So, even when it's timed and we try to keep, it's going to get blown out of proportion. So it's just not, it's tough.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to have I guess it would be an AM and a PM check-in time.
Yep.
And when you get there, that's when you're going to fill out your information sheet. And then you're from there, I guess it'd be Stacy and maybe Carrie going over, how things are going to go, what to expect on the test, and going over the process procedures and all that. And then your judge will come get you, and you will go out into the field and run your test.
Yeah.
So we'll have all that out there. Are there any hotel reserving rooms for the event? Yeah, Brandy, you need to get on that. Okay.
Always to Brandy.
I just assigned the task. Well, she'll I shouldn't tell her because Carrie would probably be a better one, but she has enough on her plate. Please do not use Ralph's PayPal when paying. Please use the American Blood Trackers Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal, or pay through the website. I've just been telling everyone to pay through the website.
Yeah. That's the easiest.
Oh, I thought that was saying don't use Ralph's to pay. I was like, I've been using Ralph's to pay for everything lately.
His toupee?
You needed I'll do it.
Did you say his toupee?
His toupee. I'm probably closer to that than he is.
Let's see. Got a seasoned hula that has gone wanting to hunt over track. Any recommendations? My pup is making her look like a beginner. Let's see. Wanting to hunt over track.
Oh, it took me a second to figure out what. I got you. I understand now.
Yeah, you want to take it?
No, go ahead. You're the trainer guy. The hula part caught my attention, but
yeah, honestly, I would need some more information on that. But it sounds like you need to go back to the basics.
see, I think you're one of two things on both ends of the spectrum. That dog is either bored with your tracks, or the dog's probably bored of your tracks. But are they too hard or are they too easy?
Most of the time, it's from you not pushing the dog hard enough.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what they're probably bored.
And that's why I said I'd have to ask some more questions to see what your progression is, where you're at, that there definitely needs to be more information to be able to give a good recommendation. But most of the time, it's you're not pushing that dog hard enough and they get bored.
Yeah, it's not fun anymore. Make it exciting again somehow.
And honestly, we've got some dogs here now that are pretty far advanced, and there's some days we'll run them on a 1 hour old trail. We vary it up.
Now, is he talking about mock tracks or on the actual tracks?
That's a good question. That's why I said there needs to be more. So here it says gone out over 48 hours. Is that on mock tracks, real tracks? Both, he said, Ralph.
Ooh, I don't know about the mock track. I think it's easy, like y'all were talking about. The live stuff. Ooh.
Well, I think that even on the live stuff, it can be. That's corrected through the mock training. So
get a dot.
Don't do that.
Vicky says good night, y'all. What
time? That's like 8:30.
That doesn't sound like Vicky. Man. Oh, it says we just received a payment through Ralph's PayPal, and there are issues with that. As you know, if paying through the website, it should go through GoDaddy Pay. We need to make sure that Ralph's PayPal is not linked to
Yeah, I
the
don't know how
website.
they're even getting that.
Take the money
Yeah.
and run, Ralph.
Yeah.
So Cassidy just got on. She claims she didn't get a notification. She probably wasn't paying attention. You know, she is
It's
Ken's
Tuesday at 7:00.
She said, "Long time no see, Ralph. Glad to see you back."
Thank you very much.
This might be the reason. It was in February. Sounds like she's not respecting you as alpha and not following your command as to what you're asking her to. And see, that's why I said there really need more information to be able to really know what it is. But again, that comes back to go back to the basics. And I think Randy Duvall would agree. Go back to the basics and run through the courses. I mean, that's what I would do. That's my recommendations.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Only a few more weeks and she'll have a wiener.
Well, welcome to the dark side. So, Cassidy, are you going to tag along with Ralph?
Push Ralph in his wheelchair.
I'll be ready by then.
Hey, you might need to stop by Roberts and pick up that track wheelchair for Alabama.
Yeah, that's what Lau was saying earlier.
Speed trials on the track chair.
Yeah. Oh, we got more people signing up. Just had 2 more.
Good deal.
Cool.
Yeah,
We'll stay on here then.
Like I said, that really helps us. Hey, it was Perry Lawrence.
He got tired of us bashing him. You done anything, Lau?
No, Perry, you were supposed to hold out with me, man. I'm going to hold out and wait so long that they close down the registration stuff so that I have to call and specifically ask to open it back up so that I can pay. That's my plan.
Stacy already figured that, so I think you're all right.
God, I'm terrible, but yeah.
It must be something in that area because, like Alan Barrett, he signed up early for Georgia, but then he just showed up late. So we had to work around that.
Hey, you never know what Alan's got going on. I'll just take a spot, Kerry.
Hey, so this is a common thing that we hear, and Ralph, I think you'd want to, you're a good one to answer this, and I know I've seen it. I mean, said he's had a mature buck charge his hound, would hate that to happen to a little weenie.
Yep. I've had it happen with Camo, and she got hit one time, but it's changed. It changed the way she did things. She got smarter.
Oh yeah.
I don't think mine's ever been hit good. Been charged plenty of times, but being that small, pretty agile still, can to dodge. But I don't think I've ever seen him get hit. I guess that should be what I should say.
I didn't see her, but I heard her.
Yeah.
And luckily I had a vet was the hunter. So when I called her back to me, we saw the deer take off and I heard her get hit. And we come back, she had a little blood on her side. And he checked her out and said, just a bruise, cut her a little bit, but was just a bruise. And I let her down and she went right back after it. But that's when she started silent baying after that.
Yeah. I worry about the little guys in the water more. So if I hit water, I call him back and let the bigger dogs go in.
Why do you worry about them in water more? What do you worry about?
I worry about the deer pinning them down or stomping on them in the water, and they already aren't super great swimmers.
Yeah.
So
Well, I will say this.
I don't know.
I worry more about my bigger dogs getting gored than I do the smaller dogs. Not mine personally. I shouldn't say that. Most dogs that I know that has been killed by goring has been bigger dogs that are overweight.
yeah, catching. Yeah, I've had some dogs hooked before.
Oh, I've had them hooked, and most times it's the bigger frame dogs that.
Yeah,
get it.
it's dogs that are going to be a little bigger, and there's more weight for that antler to hit. I think the little guys just get tossed around a little more than they get penetration.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. Mine, man, they ain't scared a bit. So it's
Yeah.
tough sometimes. They'll be gnawing on. Man, if they can get their mouth on it, they're gonna get in there. They ain't stopping because they're little.
Deer will run by with a freaking dachshund hanging off the side of it.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's
Yep.
just like Sam and Xena. She was a stockier build, heavier dog than Sam. Well, she got gored more times than he did, but I have seen him get thrown in the air, but he's also was a lot more agile. Dixie's kind of mixed between the two. She hasn't been gored yet, but she's very agile. So that goes back to the point. Like I said, almost most of the dogs, and that's so Chuck's saying my dog got killed and wasn't overweight. Most of the dogs that I know of that's been killed have been overweight, not agile, or they've been on the heavier side, like a bigger build Catahoula versus a smaller dog midget like I got from Lyle.
She's gonna grow, don't you worry.
But most of honestly, if you look at all the dogs, you can probably think back. Most of the dogs that have been killed or severely hurt have been on the bigger side. I can remember. Woodrow, that was a situation of drowning with a small dog, but
Yeah.
most of the time the bigger dogs, and it's more mainly when they're younger too, or older. Like old and not able to move as good.
Mine that have got hurt have all got hooked young.
Yeah.
When Ralph probably wouldn't have even had him in the woods yet.
And Chuck said she got to the deer. She got to the deer before the other dogs could get there to back her up. Honestly, every dog that I've had gored has been when I've had multiple dogs out there. So I don't know. It's kind of it's a toss up there.
Yeah, and every dog's different to me. My two little ones, one she'll get in there right around their ankles to where Camo will back off. That's where she started getting smarter after she got hit. And I don't know how to do that. The dog's characteristic is the dog's characteristic. It's going to do whatever it, feels like it can do until something changes it. And I don't know how to change it.
Yeah. And like it can happen to any dog, but I will say this, and I can say this for myself. I'm way more agile now than I was a year ago, 150 pounds ago. And it's the same way with a dog. And I'm not saying this is Chuck's case. Don't get me wrong, Chuck. I'm not saying I'm using this in general because we are talking to a breeds, different size dogs. I'm more agile now than I was 150 pounds ago. And a dog that is 10, 20 pounds overweight is the same scenario. They can't get out of the way as quick. So thing to make sure your dogs are in shape. Just like we should be in shape, but
which is why you need that dog treadmill.
Right. For me or the dog?
Yes.
So Carrie Patterson says she's replying to Chuck. It can happen to any of them, but overweight dogs are more at risk because they really can't get out of the way as good as a fit and shape dog. And again, Chuck, this is not saying your dog was out of shape because I don't know your dog. I'm not saying that. This is just a general statement.
I'd have a hard time believing Chuck had an out of shape dog.
Right. See, this is so, and I wasn't going to say this, Chuck, but since you said it, I have to say it now. The biggest thing with my dog getting killed was the wait time was not long enough. The hunter was pushing for us to run the track. And how many times have I harped on that and said, quit letting the hunter rush you? You know what? If the hunter doesn't want to wait, don't go. Don't put your dog at risk because the hunter wants to rush it. Let him call someone else. I'm not getting my dog killed. You know, and unfortunately, I learned that not in the way that Chuck did with losing a dog, but I got a dog seriously hurt, and I said, you know what, I'm not doing it anymore. Screw it. Call someone else.
Yep.
You know, so, and Lyle's getting quiet because Lyle's not a wait time guy.
I did a lot better this year. But
Isn't it nice to only go 300 yards instead of 3,000 yards?
yes, but I sure do. I like a little chase every now and then. Maybe we'll just call it like 700 to 1,000.
Yeah, it's and like Carrie said, it's an unfortunate thing, and I hate that you had to go through that, Chuck. But that's one of the reasons why I harp on wait times. Not just that. I mean, is someone's ticky deer worth losing your dog?
Nope.
You know, and unfortunately, I mean, I'm glad you're willing to share this, Chuck, and willing to share that it was the wait time not long enough. The deer wasn't hurt badly. These are things that need to be shared so that we can educate people and stress, and especially these young new trackers. You know, it seems like the first year people are antsy. They're afraid they're not going to get tracks, but I think we've done a better job of, especially in our states, Florida, Georgia, try and, you know, educate and say, hey, you're going to get tracks, but it's those second year trackers is the ones that is where it really comes into play. You know, they're just, I don't know. I call it the 2-year-old syndrome.
I
Terrible
would
twos.
disagree. I think it was probably my third year for me, but that's when like my tracking really blew up when I went from 20 tracks a year to 80, you know. But I couldn't get there fast enough. But
Yeah, but it was 3, and that was what, 10 years ago? Well, probably 7 years ago.
like 7, yeah.
That was your third year?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's escalated more now because, you know, the popularity is grown so much that now it's the terrible twos.
Yeah.
So Chuck said they made him wait 6 hours, but still not long enough. And, you know, it's all situational, but
Yeah.
I'm thankful that you shared that, Chuck, because that's something that people needs to be aware of. And I just like Brandy running over our dog, I share that all the time. You know,
I don't think you'd say it as much if it was you.
No.
I did run over Xena and Sam, and you know, both of them after I ran them over, they were much better.
Yeah, they respected your authority a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's what I was gonna say. Because you know, maybe you need to run over your dog. You know, respect.
That's
you,
not part of your. That's not part of your training,
Yeah.
is it?
You pull up to his house and he said, "Well, hold on real quick. Let me run your dog over before we put it away."
Oh. Poor Xena, I ran her over and then back over.
God.
He wanted her to be real good.
She was. So Tom Hill said they did get the man's deer. This is, you know, this is, it couldn't be truer. If we trackers follow the same preferred wait times instead of just wanting to get out there, we as a whole would be more efficient and more deer found. I started with the TRT, I'm not sure what that times made by Jeff, and have found more deer. And that's that's key. That's when I went from, I mean, when I started really adhering to wait times instead of being like Lyle and just wanting to get out there and chase. That's when my recovery rate skyrocketed.
Yep. I think guys that are on lead adhere to it a little better too than the off lead.
Oh yeah, I don't mind running one off lead, but I'm not running nothing on lead.
Yeah. So thus you try to get your wait times to where you're more successful on the on lead because you don't want to go after them. But
I think I ran most of my archery tracks this year at the 24-hour mark. Probably 85% of them at the 24-hour mark this year.
And 85% of them were high shoulder shot.
No, just that 15 that I didn't find.
Oh, that I swear that's I wonder if we're seeing more of those because we're seeing more people getting into archery from the gun world who shoot high shoulder to bust the spine. They don't realize if they're busting the spine. They say, "Oh, when I hit a high shoulder, they fall right there." Yeah, you severed the spine. But
Yeah,
that's not happening with a bow.
I think you're going to still see high numbers of those because I think the trend is starting to go back towards heavier arrows versus the light arrows of a few years ago. But popularity of just calling a tracking dog has gone up, whereas before they probably would have been like, I'm not gonna, I don't know how to call somebody. And now everybody knows a tracker pretty much,
Yeah, you say that, but every year I'm like, wish I'd have known about tracking dogs.
Yeah, I get that too.
Yeah. So this is another good one. It seems like when I get a hunter that won't wait and calls another tracker and they lose the deer, they will usually wait the next time. And that's why I'm not.
It's a
I
tough
don't
lesson to learn.
hesitate to say, you know what, call someone else, because then when I follow up later, hey, did you get your deer? Yeah, if you'd have waited, guess who they call next time?
Yeah.
Of course, I don't say it like that to them, but that's how I want to say it to them.
Yeah.
I will educate them, say, hey, the reason you didn't get your deer is because you went in early and you pushed the deer. Sometimes I'll offer to come back out later, depending on how it is. But, most of the time I'm going to get the call next time. They're going to respect my wait times. So, but the hard part is educating the new trackers in the area to also respect your wait times.
Hey, if y'all don't mind, let's switch back over to the payment. Carrie said 3 of them tonight paid on my PayPal. So
it's got to be a website issue because they paid on the website.
Yeah. So we got to look at that. We'll look at it tomorrow.
All of them booked through the website. So it's not what anyone's doing. It's something that's set up in the website.
All right. We'll have to look at it then. It's probably something Carrie did wrong,
That's what I'm going to blame it on.
I mean, probably because
Carrie did it. She was too busy harassing me to put the freaking codes in right.
No, different Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie, my Carrie at the office.
Oh, well, I wouldn't blame her for anything then.
Too late, you already did.
I take it back.
It's got to be something. We'll figure it out. Carrie Patterson said I didn't make the website.
Carrie Patterson.
Well, Carrie, I really kind of thought that was a little above your skill set, but I gave you the benefit of the doubt.
Oh boy, here we
go.
go.
You're on now.
Yeah, so somehow it's linked to your PayPal. It's set up on the website. We'll get. Uh-oh.
Mm.
I expected more out of that.
She knows.
She must be getting tired or something.
She's sleepy. 2 hours.
It's coming.
2 hours
It's
into
coming.
this. There it is. I was like,
Oh, there you go.
Suddenly, all my corners on my test are, 87 degrees. So sorry, can't do it. This one, 87 degrees again.
So I got to touch on this one. Educate the hunters also. Usually the miscommunication amongst trackers fall on the ones that stack tracks. I don't know. So I hear that all the time about people stacking tracks. And I've been accused of it, but I don't really see that many people stacking tracks.
What you mean stacking tracks?
So that's a term used by people, when I guess another term would be hoarding tracks.
I got you.
Yeah, I don't know.
My problem is all of us, like up here, and when we're all out at 4 or 5 in the morning because we've had 7 or 8, and all of us have them. There ain't nothing else to do.
Right. Yeah, I don't.
But I could see what he's saying. If that is the intent and not do it, that could be an issue. But
See, now she's got Chuck talking smack.
Oh man, hey Carrie, we can't go here because he's already on the fence. No, there you go. And his choice of whether he wants to run it is yes or yes. So for those of you that doesn't know the yes or yes thing, whenever we talked to Carrie about doing the judging thing, I asked her and I told her that her choices are yes or yes. So she chose yes. Oh, and it keeps going. Oh, you opened a can of worms, Lyle.
I knew I would. I can handle it.
Man, Lyle, what did you do to Landon?
Stolen the best dog he's ever had in his life.
I'm beginning to wonder because he's wanting to help on your track.
oh,
Uh-oh. Yeah, we'll have to look at that, Ralph. It's got to be your personal PayPal must be linked to the website.
yep.
Oh god.
Uh-oh. Oh man, you're in for it.
I wouldn't even show up to that one. They're like, your judges are Landon and Alex. I'd be like, I'm not even showing up. Go ahead and put me down for next event.
Landon, Alex, and Carrie.
Well, Carrie's got the dogs that can bark on command, so I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's just the started test.
Yeah.
I think I'm most excited about.
Yeah, me too. I want to check it. I want to see what you've come up with, man. I'm pretty excited to try it out.
Yeah, and so Alex said he had to step away. So Alex,
You got volunteered for quite a few things, Alex.
Yeah. Someone must have told him to hop on for him.
Landon
probably Landon. Yeah, Landon probably texted him. Yeah. So Alex has got to sign up for the on lead test so that he can start with the
Elite.
The elite. We got his attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, someone did say track stacking. Said something about Brandy Darby stacks tracks. Oh boy, now we're really opening a can.
I know. Getting thick.
No, they weren't. They weren't talking about anyone in particular, but they may have been talking about Lyle.
Could have been.
But I will say this: most of the time, when you hear of someone being accused of stacking tracks, it's someone who is a reputable tracker who gets the majority of the phone calls, and the people want them.
Yeah.
Carrie may have texted Alex because now Alex Hood, you, Landon Manning, and I get to lay Lyle's 38-hour started track. No, 39. He said once it gets over 38. So
no, I said 36. That's why Chuck added it to 38.
Oh, okay. You said 36. Okay. So we've got, I want to say six or seven finish tests scheduled for the event.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Yeah. So Lyle, you haven't seen a finish test yet, have you?
Well, I haven't been on one, no.
Yeah. You need to get in on laying one of those.
Yeah, they're brutal.
Yeah. 42 hours now, Lyle.
I know, exactly. She actually is laying the track for me right now.
That's right.
Yeah. 42 hours to lay it.
Yeah. There we go.
There you go, Lyle. There's your opportunity.
That's because she didn't sit around and do nothing.
See, Lyle, the reason why she's extending an invite for you to help with her finish test is because she doesn't want me to do
it. Yeah.
I didn't even go on her season line, and I got in her head. I didn't even say anything. We wrote by and I said, "Hey, there's the start of your season line," and that's all it took.
She heard, "Hey, your season line goes down into that ditch."
Man, I know it had nothing to do with me walking backwards. Now she says, "Everybody come talk smack." Casty said finish tests are rough. Said she laid one with Jason Byer and then helped on the test. Oh,
yeah.
They're definitely teaming up.
It's breaking up.
They're definitely teaming up on you, Lyle.
I can handle those guys. It'd be all right.
Hey, Alex, he did do something. He misspelled his name.
Oh my God. Maybe I got some big old sausage fingers. Yeah.
I have tried to pass tracks off, and the hunter will not have it. They want my dogs and are willing to wait. And yes, and that's when you get accused of stacking tracks. But there are people out there that will not share a track.
Yep.
And that's where the problem really comes in is they do line up all these tracks, and then come 3 o'clock in the morning, they're like, okay, I can't make it all of them, so I'm not going. That's where the issue comes in, where someone is stacking tracks and doesn't follow through, and we all experience that.
Yep.
Carrie said, if I wasn't talking smack, y'all would think I didn't like y'all. Hey, I talk smack and people think I don't like them. Sometimes, you know. Just had another one sign up. Ooh, we're gonna run out of test spots soon. Y'all, Lyle, you better get on there and sign up.
I'll just pull a Kenny and just add him at the last minute.
I withdrew some at the last minute. I was told I had to pack the trailer up. I like this. The finish test is the ultimate test for the relationship you have with your dog. You better know how to read your dog. You better be willing to trust your dog.
Yep.
Wait until you get to the elite test, Alex.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we got some insight, or no, the problem I see is when the stacker will talk the hunter into going earlier than what the other trackers tell the hunters to get the track.
Oh, yeah.
They're not a very good stacker if they have time to go in early.
That's right. That definitely happens, though.
Yeah.
I'm pretty like the area that I'm at up here. We've got like a 5-6 tracker little sidebar chat group that we have, and man, we pass tracks off constantly, you know. So I'm pretty lucky and pretty happy with the group that we have up here. I don't usually have any problems like that, so unless that means I'm the problem, but I don't think so.
Yeah, he's saying they pushed their other tracks. Man, sounds like y'all need to have a talk with some people in your area.
No kidding.
Or honestly, I don't mind helping out. You know, especially because I know you're in Florida. We've honestly only have one person we've really had an issue with that in my area, and Brandy says we need more folks in Mississippi, so come fish and test in May. I bet my dog trailer would be welcome in Mississippi. Nobody wants me to bring dogs to Alabama. What in the world? Where did I see it? Where did I see it? Where did I see it? Oh, Alex. No, I'm not an on-lead guy, but willing to try. You got to. You got to get that. You got to get that white dog on that elite test. Lyle, are you going to do some on-lead testing so that you can do the elite test?
I don't know. I freaking hate it.
That's
Oh
going to
my
be.
gosh! Now you've resorted to whining.
It's terrible, man. I hate it on lead.
Let me tell you, John and I we've been doing some exhibition work on the elite test. Whew. You better be a handler. I'll say that. It's
I hate on lead.
Well, to let the cat out of the bag, it's going to incorporate both.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. You'd have to put your dog on lead for a portion, for whatever reason.
Yeah, especially with smaller tracts of land. Let's say you have permission on this track on this piece of land to run off lead. Well, you get to the next piece of land, you knock and ask for permission. They say, yes, you can progress forward, but your dog has to be on leash.
Yeah.
Then you get to the next one, you can't get permission. What do you do? But you got permission to the next one over.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Or like I've done it where I've been on private land and cross the fence and get him to the management area.
Yeah.
Look at Mike's question right there.
Yep. Do you see a difference laying tracks with shoes versus using a single stick? Yes. And there is honestly a difference between each style of shoe also. Some shoes leave more scent than other shoes.
Which do you like better?
Single stick.
Yeah.
As far as finishing out a dog, I like the shoes for the ease of laying tracks. But I like the single stick finishing them out. I mean, obviously it's less scent.
Yeah.
Yeah, Perry Lawrence says he does a lot of WMA. I'm thankful that I don't have to.
Luckily, half of mine down here, the game wardens know me and they'll let me off lead. Thank God.
Oh boy. Now you got another one after
I
you.
know. Line them up, boys.
I had no idea you had this many haters.
Yeah.
They're thick.
Boy, it didn't take them long. Woo.
They're gathered around.
Carrie's over there texting all of them.
What a bunch of jerks.
Become friends with all the wardens you can. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
No hate, Lyle, but there's no love either.
Yeah.
Oh man. Lyle, I think all this hatred has got people's interest because we don't have people hopping off. They're sticking it out. We're 2 hours and 8 minutes in, and they're still here.
They sure love the drama.
Oh man, I couldn't imagine having to deal with this right here.
Oh yeah.
E-bikers. And in Florida, they're supposed to, it's supposed to be a certain class e-bike, and none of them adhere to that.
That is almost one. I don't turn down many tracks as far as for circumstance. That is one of them that if I know, I'm going to ask them how far.
You get that track wheelchair.
Yeah. Well, that was the other half of the problem is I couldn't. My legs were killing me last year. So
yeah.
But there's some management areas, man. They'll get back there 2 or 3 miles. So I'm like, they ain't no way. Not to mention, I'm not going to let my dog walk in there 2 miles. Dang. That's too many that's too high RPM for them.
Do you feel loved?
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to have to hold a clinic for you guys at this freaking Alabama event. That's what I feel like. But gather around and watch my dog fail this 48-hour.
Yeah, this is something people don't realize. I've been questioned, or I shouldn't say I've been questioned. People question about how many tracks I go on. What they don't realize is how long the Florida season is.
Yeah.
Especially for us that will go into Alabama also. So if we wanted to, we could go down there with Mike and track in August and be in Alabama, the same distance, be in Alabama tracking in February.
Yep. By the end of our season, I've had enough.
Yeah. Lyle, come get you some of this August tracking.
No, I don't think I can.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, we're tracking in September here, and that's plenty hot. I can't only imagine August being worse.
Well, August plus south. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah, August in South Florida.
Yeah.
Yes, you can start in July. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, I went down there one time to bow hunt at that. Well, that's bow season there, and let me tell you, it is absolutely miserable because I was sitting in this field in a palm tree,
Yeah.
wide
that's weird.
open. Oh man! By the end of it, I was in my nothing but my underwear and a bug suit.
Yeah.
There's an
Stop.
image for you.
Stop
There's
it.
an
I
image
got
for
to
you.
sleep tonight.
And your
You want me
big
to,
shirt sucks.
you want me to post a picture up?
No.
Well, I'm gonna have to bail out of here pretty quick. I'm at 10%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about the same.
Yeah, I got to go too. I got to make a couple phone calls. So
I'm gonna go cry myself to sleep for how I was treated tonight.
yeah, Mike said he did a high fence June 30th. Yeah, I've done them June, July.
God,
Ooh, Lord.
that June, July tracks are just crazy to me.
Yeah, it's rough. So, all righty. Well, wow, appreciate it.
Yep.
Glad you were punching bag tonight.
I say, glad I could add a little drama to the evening.
All righty. Well, we'll see everyone next week.
See you guys in a few weeks.